Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So another one of a bit about me, my tips, and I thought in this video I would share something that's been really helping me recently because I have gone from being on maternity leave to going back to work. I only work 3 days a week, so I work part-time, but having 2 kids, juggling work and mum life obviously can have its challenges. Yeah, I thought it would be useful to do a video talking about how I manage it. Not that I get it right, but things that is helping me manage it more effectively, being more organised, and just to make my life a little bit easier really. So that's what I thought I would do in the video today. So first of all, I would say you're probably going to feel chaotic all the time. I really like calm. I love being organised. I like writing lists just to tick things off. And I've come to realise that when you're a mum of just one child, but especially 2, and then when you work as well, obviously I also run my business, I can't be that organised, and sometimes you will feel disorganised, but you know what? That just kind of becomes the new norm. So for me, a big tip is trying to get as much done as you possibly can the night before. Obviously not everything can be done, but for example, the night before, I actually always have my shower when I'm working the next day the night before. I used to always say like, no, I never want to do that. I love getting up and having a shower, which I do. But you know what? In the morning, it needs to be like a military operation, and me having a shower just takes far too long. So in the evening, before I have work, I always do my workout, and then I'll have a shower, wash my hair if I need to, just so that in the morning, all I've got to do is throw clothes on, wash my face, put a bit of makeup on, and I'm good to go. The next thing is I would say in the evening, I'm kind of going in the reverse, but in the evening as well, like when I get in from work and I pick the kids up, I try and make sure that they have their tea relatively quick. So sometimes Cece will have tea at nursery. Sonny tends to not have his tea at the childminder, so I'll either do one of them dinner or both of them. Normally like a really easy quick tea, because they normally had like a pasta or something for their lunch, so maybe like beans on toast or chicken nuggets, something like that, you know, not massively healthy, but obviously it's just a bit of a kid's tea for those kind of quick evening meals, and most of the time Cece's already had a dinner anyway, so get the tea done as soon as they can be in basically, and then it's straight in the bath. And I found like bathing the kids before 6 is just so important. If I leave it till 6:30, Sonny in particular gets too tired, he doesn't want to be in there and he cries. So we kind of get in around 5, and then it's like, right, quick dinner. Obviously I do try and make sure it is healthy sometimes, but beans on toast never hurt anyone, right? And then yeah, in the bath, and then that just makes life so much easier. So once the kids are out of the bath and I've then, had my shower and I'm sorted, then I will try and get things sorted for their bags for the next day. So Cece actually doesn't take lunch to nursery, she has all her food there, which does make life a lot easier. Sonny, with the childminder, he takes his own lunch, which is fine, but obviously has to be a little bit more organised. So like I said, Sonny normally has like a hot cooked like homemade pasta for his lunch. Pasta's basically all he eats, so we tend to chop up loads of veg, make a pasta sauce for him just so we know he's getting like a really nutritious lunch. So we'll do that the night before. I'll also pack his bag for like snacks, cut his fruit up the night before and put it in Tupperware and put it in the fridge, so in the morning I've just got to grab the stuff, put it in his food bag, and he's good to go. I'll also make sure their little backpacks are packed with like changes of clothes, wipes, nappies, all that kind of thing. I also like to make sure their bottles are ready, like their juice bottles for the next day. And I just think getting as much done the night before, like I said, in the morning, just means you have less to worry about. I even try and get the bags in the car the night before, which maybe doesn't save loads of time, but because we live on a street where we haven't got a garage and like a driveway, we park on the street, so not all the time you can park directly outside. And I find that if it's an evening where we haven't been able to park outside, the next morning it's a bit of a nightmare, me trying to like go and put the bags in the car with the kids trying to get out of the house. It just is easier to do it when they're not around. So yeah, bags in the car night before always helps. And then I've actually recently, I mentioned this on one of my other vlogs, but I've recently started doing my 5 a.m. start. And actually I read the book The Miracle Morning. It's amazing for talking about how you can find more time. Obviously you don't have to do this, but it really works for me. So I would say on average, Cece and Sonny get up around 6 o'clock, give or take. And I find I just need a bit of time before that for me. To do a bit of my work on my business. I like to do things like yoga. I like to meditate. I like to do my affirmations. Everything that's going to set me up to have a positive day. Because I know that if I have a morning where I wake up when the kids wake me up, I feel behind and I feel like stressed because I haven't had time for me. So really trying to, even if it's 10 minutes, you know, having a cup of tea before the kids wake up, just try and do it so you wake up slightly before them, because honestly, you will feel so much more organized in the morning and it'll just set your whole day off so much better. And then once I've done my little routine, I will then put like Sonny's pasta and his fruit from the fridge into his lunch bag, and then I'll go and put that in the car if I haven't already, and I'll get their shoes out, I'll get their coats out, and just make sure that when they come downstairs, everything is ready. And then obviously I'll go and wake the kids up, or they tend to normally just wake up around 6. I try as well to get the kids dressed as soon as they wake up. I find that if I don't do it, and I've done this in the past, where I don't get them dressed straight away, they come down in their pajamas, it's then more difficult to kind of get them ready and we're running late, and Cece then kind of says, oh, I want to stay in my pajamas, whereas if they wake up and I get them dressed straight away, they're just ready for me to take them downstairs. And then once we get downstairs, I always get their breakfast going straight away. So our kids love boiled eggs. Obviously we have our chickens, so we have 8 eggs a day. So we like to try and use up as many eggs as we can. Sonny will sometimes have 2 boiled eggs. They're both really funny. They actually don't like the yolk, which when I was younger, I never used to like the yolk either. So I totally get that. But they'll have their eggs in the morning. So as soon as we get downstairs, first thing I will do is I'll put the kettle on, boil the water, put their egg on, because again, sometimes breakfast can take 5 minutes, sometimes it can take half an hour. It depends what mood they're in, particularly Cece. So just try and get the breakfast on as soon as possible so that we're not messing around and it's not going to take a long time. And I'm always late, so I always tell myself, so I like to leave the house for 7:30. In my head, I'm saying I have to be ready for 7:15, because I know if the kids have got their shoes and coats on and we're ready to go at 7:15, by the time I've got them out of the house, in the car, I've plugged them in. Normally Cece wants like her milk bottle, or, you know, a toy that she's forgotten. I've run back in to get that, or she needs a wee or something. Normally by the time we're actually ready to physically go in the car, it's normally 7:30. So I always find giving myself 15 minutes like leeway just really helps. Otherwise, we're always late. And one thing I'm really trying to do at the moment, which I have mentioned before, but is just being calm, because obviously some things happen, you know, like the other morning Cece was on the toilet trying to do a number 2, and you can't rush those things, right, with a toddler. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be late. But I thought, if I get stressed with this, what's the point, you know? Like, it's not her fault, she needs to do that. So I just try and remain as calm as possible. Obviously, it's not always as easy as that, but because I have my morning start where I do my affirmations, I do my, you know, my meditation, all that kind of thing, I am a lot calmer in general. So I find it much easier to manage and deal with the kids when they're maybe not listening, or they're shouting, or they're arguing, or whatever they're doing. But I just find staying calm means that I don't get stressed taking that to work with me, and it means that, you know, the kids don't pick up on that. And actually, if I try and stay calm and talk to them, particularly Cece, and when she doesn't want to eat her breakfast or she doesn't want to get dressed, if I just talk and explain to her why she needs to do that, normally she responds much better. So yeah, a big thing I'm trying to do to help me have an easier morning, particularly being at work, is just being calm and just trying to kind of talk to them and not shout, because I think sometimes, you know, I'm guilty of doing that in the past, and it's just made the whole situation way more stressful. And another thing that I've really been trying to do as well is in the car on the way, so we drop Sonny off first, and then we drop Cece off, and then I go to work. So it is a bit of an operation, but I just try as well and have a little joke with the kids, and we put the radio on, we will sing songs together. You know, I'll talk what they're going to do that day, because I think when you are in the headspace that you're going to work, sometimes you can be thinking about maybe what meetings you've got that day. You know, obviously I'm a teacher, what lessons I've got to teach, that kind of thing, or, oh, did I reply to this email? But I like to keep my time with the kids like family time. So even at the car ride to school, obviously when they get older, you can, you know, talk a bit more. We have it now where I ask Cece, like, what are you doing today? And she's like, I don't know, mummy. Or what have you done today? Nothing. Obviously when she gets older, it'll be a bit easier, but I just try and have a conversation with them. We'll sing songs and things, just so that it's like quality time I have with them before I then go into work. And we're actually very lucky. Like, both our kids really love going to childcare. We never really have a problem where they cry because they don't want to go or anything like that. So I feel very lucky in that respect. But if we ever did, like when Sonny was poorly, and he wasn't like 100%, but he wasn't, you know, ill enough to be off, but he just wasn't right. He was a little bit tearful. And I think a big tip as well is, as a mum, when you see your child being like, oh, you kind of have the reaction of wanting to be like, oh, come here. I just was like, oh, you're gonna have a really lovely day. And I was kind of remaining really positive, and just I never want the kids to feel like I don't want to leave them, because obviously, like, it's good for them. They love nursery school, they love going to the childminder. But if they ever kind of have that teary moment as a mum, which can be so hard, I think just trying to hold it together yourself and just show them that actually, like, you're really excited for them and they'll absolutely love it. But what I will say as well is, if you know what, like, being a working mum is stressful, it is hard. And some days are gonna go totally smoothly. You'll be like, yes, I am winning at this. Other days, like I have, go absolutely chaotic. They all go wrong. You're 10 minutes late. But you know what as well, I always think, if I am 10 minutes late, which I try not to be, it's not the end of the world, you know? Like, I'm fine, the kids are fine, got there safely. So if you do have a morning that goes to pot and you're running late, just remember, it's not the end of the world. So I hope that was useful for any working mummies out there. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.